What's up, everyone? Happy Friday, happy FromSoft Friday. Today we're going to be taking a look at the PS3 version of Demon's Souls back in 2009. This would be the third game directed by Hideo Miyazaki. I'm not going to try to say that word, his other name right now. Yeah, Miyazaki directed this. It was his third game, and it was his first Souls-like game he directed. It's also pretty much just the first Souls-like, or first of the Souls games. So let me go ahead and swap it over. Way back in 09, yes, Gova, way back in the yonder days of 09. But yeah, that's what we got in store for stream today. I won't be streaming too long today. Come on. There we go. All right. Yeah, I won't be streaming too long today, just doing the usual Friday 1 hour long stream. Gonna be doing more Dark Souls 2 prep today. Thanks, bro. I'm gonna upgrade strength, I guess. You're welcome, Georgist. I'm gonna go leave after 1 to 2 as playing this with a friend right now. Oh, nice. Alright, well, let's get ourselves a new game going. As usual for the name, if I can get my capitalization thing to work. No. Let me have that back. Alright. Name our character Rat. Royalty is the best class. There's nothing else to it. Let's see. Yes, West. I'm just hit the random button until I find something I like. There we go. Old. Masculine. Yeah, there we go. Time to just horrifically mess up a whole character one more time. I like the wide face. No, it's right there. That seems good. Man, Demon's Souls is a very interesting little game. Yes, I would like to play the Journey to the Nexus. It's like an interesting little game because it's like it plays so closely to Dark Souls 1, just with a couple other like minor differences here and there. I say minor, but it depends on who you ask. They're pretty decent jumps in any direction, really. It's also got this neat tutorial area, which didn't really come back for any of the other like Souls games. At least not in the same way. It was also the first time we saw the mana bar, the magic. The magic bar, yeah. Do you like Bloodborne or not really into it? I like Bloodborne. It's one of my favorites of the of Miyazaki's works. I mean, seeing something who is very smart in the thing they know. I try to be decently educated in the Souls, what's like in the Souls games, because I talk about them as a hobby. So, though I'm not terribly well-known, not well-known, but terribly like well-versed in everything to do with these games. Just like in Dark Souls 2 and like pretty much every single one of these games, the rapier is just like the best thing ever. There should be some pickups around here. That's just where we began. Oh well, we'll go through the Archstone. You're like a book of knowledge. I have encyclopedic knowledge on some things. Souls is not really one of them. It's kind of one of them. I read the wiki a lot. I will say that. I'm on the wikis for these games very, very often. So I do remember a lot of information from there. Oh, I messed that up very bad. Come on, man. Come on. Do a slice. And the parry, like, the riposte in this is just so, like, impactful. Like, there's that thrust forward animation to it. It just makes it feel like you're hitting for so much more than you really are. I mean, you're hitting for a lot, but it just makes it feel like you're hitting for, like, 3 or 4 times the enemy's health bar instead of the amount you are, which I really like that a lot. It didn't really see a resurgence until the remake, that kind of like animation style. Otherwise it's like the same old animation, the same old Dark Souls type of thing. It's like that. Look, that zoom forward with the camera shake really just sells it. Like you're doing a lot. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get our magic out because this tutorial boss does not take much damage from you at all, unless you do magic. This is the first Souls tutorial boss ever. He's very close to being kind of like what the Asylum Demon was. Just a big weapon, big old fat dude. With a clone later in the game. He's actually giving me like way less grief right now than he sometimes does in my other runs. He likes to give me a lot of grief. Like he'll do weird slams and such like that. And who that like mid animation or that mid animation. I'm nearly out of mana. It's fine though, he's dead. Love you, bro. Thank you, Georges. Then you get the Grey Demon Soul, and then that's what this is what happens if you beat the tutorial. This happens in the other remake too, but I do like kind of like love this setup that they do for the game, because like you beat the tutorial, and then it just takes you here to the Dragon God. You get to collect a lot of items that otherwise you wouldn't get until a little bit later in the game. Not too far into the game, but like a little bit later. Lots of Full Moon Grass, high level healing items, which are really helpful. Extra souls. Sharpstone shards, stuff like that. All of this is really, really helpful for a run. And then you go out here and it just starts a cutscene. And basically all this cutscene really is just like, hey buddy, yeah, you're dead. So from the very, very beginning, the game like makes it clear you weren't meant to survive the tutorial. That wasn't you weren't supposed to do that. And then it respawns in the Nexus.
From its vessel. Let strength be granted.
We also meet our first ever Shrine Maiden here as well.
Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended.
And now we are forever bound to the Nexus. Trapped for eternity. Hooray! There is a way out though. We just simply need to kill all of the demons and get their souls.
The northern land of Boleta.
Hence the name Demon's Souls. Aren't you supposed to kill the fire boss to get the dragon to get to the Dragon King? Yeah, that's later.
Stones will connect them to
That is later. In level 2, or I don't know what part of Boletaria it's in. But be this what we have here, the Archstone King. Or not Archstone King, but the Burrow King. We can't go there yet because we can only go in here. To go into Boletaria. But this area is pretty cool because we get this guy, who's basically just a backpack for us. Because everything we have on us, except for the souls, has weight. And we can only carry about 86 pounds of stuff. So we're going to be very careful about what we do and don't pick up. This is our primary blacksmith for the run.
But then it's in trade with you.
He also will be our source of Crescent Moongrass for a little while. So we're going to go ahead and buy all of what we can of Crescent Moongrass. Because even though all of this stuff is really cool, it's so much more helpful. At least I found it be helpful to have like healing items earlier on. And also, as you can see, we have half of our health because this is one of those early FromSoft games that just decided, yeah, you know what? You just started the game. We're forcing you to die. You don't get access to your whole health bar. You're basically one and done if any boss hits you. But we can fix that in Boletaria, because there will be a ring that can get us at least some of our health back. But this area is always cool. I like Boletaria so much. In the remake, I like the way they present this area visually. I think it's really cool. But even in the original, it's still just as neat. The Demon's Souls makes the dragons so much more imposing as well, because there's very little you can do to like fight them. But yeah, here we are. We do not want to return to the Nexus. Yeah, as an opening area, Boletaria is really great. Because it starts out really open, you get this great idea of the gates of the kingdom, just kind of where you are. Ow. Yeah, whatever. Gates of the kingdom, and kind of what you're up against. Though it doesn't really like scream that to you until you're in the walls and you're like kind of past this first hurdle. But it is such a fun Souls game, even if it is a bit more linear than all the other ones in a more literal sense. I'm gonna try to conserve my magic for later when we're in the walls. Let me around. Level geometry. Okay, cool. Sorry if I just like skip past a lot of like things like pickups. I just kind of look at the icon and go like, okay, yeah, that's what I've got, and then move onward. I kind of do that in every Souls game now. It's like I've known what these things are for so long that at this point it's just like I pick them up and it's like, okay, that's what I've got. So that was, I think, like 1 or 2 Crescent Moon Grass. Dude, this isn't good. There you go. That's a lot better. I don't really care too much about my Moongrass consumption right now because I'm only playing for an hour today. I have another save file that I'm actually using. But one thing to do in this game, one thing you really should be doing is item management. More so than any other game in the Souls lineup, because I would say this game and Bloodborne, because Bloodborne also has temporary healing. Like when you use a heal, it's gone until you get another one. In both this game and Bloodborne, like, please just, if you can, try to manage your heals and your resources. Like, be very careful about what you use and when you use it. And try not to make any mistakes that would otherwise threaten your management, like that. So now I have 10 Crescent Moongrass instead of 11. Because every Crescent Moongrass that you don't have for, that you use here for an enemy is one that you don't have for a boss. Think of it that way. So just try to encourage yourself to play more precisely in order to avoid running into issues like that where you're just kind of like running out of items quickly. That's like a motive recommendation I would give for any Souls game, but for these ones especially, just because of how precious the consumables actually are, because they're part of the core experience. Like, you're not gonna, you know, play through this game and not be using them. Also, I guess another thing, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, yeah, learn to parry. Parrying is so helpful in these titles. Like, it's just, I would say it's probably one of the most important skills you can have, is being able to parry. Demon Souls is my least favorite of the Souls games. That's fair. It's not everyone's favorite. It's not my favorite. I wouldn't say it's my least favorite, though. Actually, it's among my let's see. It's among my less favorites, but I haven't really played it. Come on, played it that much, so I don't really know if I don't know where it stands actually, because I haven't played it nearly as much as the others. So I guess as it is, like my experience now, it'd be my least favorite, but that would be just because I haven't like actually given it as nearly as much time as the other titles. Last time I was over at my friend's place, after he beat the boss of 1-2, I did some farming, got around 120 half moon and 70 late moon. Yeah, that area after the 1-2, you can just sit there and just farm. And you can get a lot of good grass. I did that in my remake, the Demon Souls remake playthrough, and it was pretty alright. Yeah, Klingring, that was the thing I was talking about earlier, by the way. That was, It's the fragrant. We want that still. Yeah. Lose less HP when in soul form. That is basically the clutch ring from Dark Souls 2. And we would like to have that simply because it means we, you know, don't have nearly as little health as before. I think it's called the clutch ring in Dark Souls 2. I'm not entirely certain, which is funny because I use that ring every single run that I play. They drop good early game souls as well. Yeah, they do. Here's the thing. I didn't do that initially for like health farming. I did it initially to farm souls for levels because this game, more than the other Souls games, is kind of stingy in that front. Also, let's go ahead and get over this wall. Hi, Otsdarva. How are you?
That was well. Now that you are here, pray thee, fend off these dreglings.
Okay, so now that we're here, he wants Otsdarva wants us to kill these guys for him, which we're gonna go ahead and just do. We don't need to be down here, but I like to be down here because you can find some early game stuff. All right, now that we've killed those guys, he's gonna talk to us, give us a telescope, and now he's just gonna wander around the area semi-aimlessly until we meet him again after the boss. And sometimes he'll hit you if he's attacking other enemies. It's kind of fun. Ring of Binding. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I really should just know that off the top of my head, but apparently I don't, which is a bit unfortunate. Remove those from me on inventory. Let's see. Ooh, Scimitar's good. I like the Scimitar a lot in all the games. It's a very consistent weapon. That and the Falcon. The Falcon is a really consistent weapon, especially in Dark Souls 1. There's like the Falcon's one of those ones in Dark Souls 1 that you can just use with any build. Like pair it together with a little bit of everything. I used it for my my Miracles Only. Or not Miracles Only, but my cleric build. Oh no, I like those weapons in the Souls games that you can like just rely on. Like they're just consistent. So like the rapier would be one of them, but I don't always like the rapier just because it's kind of like the pushover weapon. Like you can use it in every circumstance, every instance of the game you can just use it and it'll work well. If I'm gonna be using something like this, I prefer things like the X-Stock, which are just a different variant of this kind of thing. But like, you can see there, like that's just like DPS, and I'm like able to stun them so easily.
Good day to you. Careful, Sleece.
Talk to my favorite vendor, get me some cheap grass. And go ahead and listen to the sounds of Otsdarva down below.
Thanks for...
Also, if you hear me calling him Otsdarva, even though his name's Ostrava, that's kind of just a little community joke here and there among people. Oh, okay, there's our first death. Community joke, just calling Otsdarva, just because the names are so similar. And if you don't know who Otsdarva is, he's currently he's a Dead by Daylight streamer, but he used to do a lot with the Souls franchise. His most well-known feat was beating Dark Souls 2, all bosses, including DLC, hitless, which was, I gotta say, one of the craziest challenges I've ever seen completed, because it is no small feat to do that. It is very, very difficult. And is most certainly something that I would never dream of attempting. Though it would be very cool. It would, in fact, be very cool. I think the half HP isn't an issue once you reach certain skill levels, so I kind of like it. Furthermore, if you think about it, DS3 doesn't even... It doesn't get crap even though it does the same thing in practice. I know it does. I have that problem with Dark Souls 3. It's like the embering just gives you so much more health. Any game like that where it just kind of places you at a half disadvantage where you don't really know if your health leveling is actually doing anything, it kind of makes it messy, but I don't really mind it all the time. It's more or less these games like Dark Souls 2 and Demon Souls where at the very beginning you're punished for failure. And you just get that taunt of that gray part of the health bar just staring at you. And see, that's what I don't like, is starting out, trying to learn, and then being punished for learning. It's not my favorite. But as a veteran, it's like I'm fine with it. I can just breeze by. It's like I just know that that's my health. Stuff like the Ring of Binding or whatever. Yeah, Ring of Binding or the Cling Ring. Oh, just make the whole thing a little bit more tolerable. Those were two very messy parries that I did not get. I don't know. In terms of game function, it's not that bad. In terms of like other things, it can be a bit worse depending on the person. I did not mean to use the turpentine, but it's fine. More damage never hurt anybody. Also, I just used the late moongrass on accident because we picked some up earlier. Don't want to use that. Just trying to use my half moongrass. Well, there goes a lot of good late game healing. Also, no idea where it put our leftover souls. Gonna try to go find those at least, because it should have been near that room, but I guess it might be over here. If you do think about it, they do put the rings close to the start so you can see that they thought, yeah, no, they did. And that's where it's like, I'm perfectly fine with it. It's just because the rings are at the start. They thought about like the punishment and all that stuff. Which is why as a veteran, it's like, yeah. Well, no, sorry. Which is why as a veteran, it's like, you know, that this is just how it is. My health is ideally supposed to be at this low point. I'm not meant to be constantly at this high space. And though when I was starting out, when I was a beginner, that mindset was very different just because of how it made me feel as a player. I don't know. I guess it just felt punishing, like very punishing. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. I apologize. Also, I did not realize I switched to that. Yeah. I would like to fight the Phalanx. It would be very cool if I could do that. Also, I love this part of the game where you just like, one, you get to kill everything using the boulders, but two, you get to like look out at the dragons off on the cliff, just kind of resting. Because it's like, at the moment, it kind of like looks almost cute, just like a big monster sitting off on a cliff. But it's like, you gotta remember, like that thing, if it were over here, would kill you in an instant. So I guess in that sense, it's cool for me to think about. Okay, let's get up here. Don't think I have to get past this bridge. Is he coming? Nope. Yeah, I'll go around the other way, because I don't remember exactly which way opens up the gate. Oh, there he is. I think it's that way. I'm gonna go this way anyway, because I think this opens up our shortcut. I am now uncertain. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm very used to the remake, because I've played it way more than I've played this. Hi, what's up, Virik? Or Virik? I'm just gonna say Virik. If that's wrong, let me know. I don't know how to pronounce it, not gonna lie. Fair enough. Remember, right, ideally this area is supposed to get just like firebombed by the dragon. How? I wish this was available for PC. Well, yeah, no, I wish so too. Unfortunately, Sony and Bluepoint, I believe Bluepoint are the ones who helped with this one. Unfortunately, they don't agree. I think I've mentioned it before, why I believe the, come on, breathe fire. Don't just stream, breathe fire. Make this a little bit easier on me, sir. Oh well. Why I believe like the remake to not be on PC. And it's because it's just like specifically because of the PS5 being Sony's next big thing, and it was the remake wasn't really made as a remake because like FromSoft wanted there to be one. It was more so made as like a tech presentation for the PS5 for Sony, and that's why they're not going to bring it to PC, because it was made to show off the power of the PS5 as a launch exclusive. It does a really good job at it being a tech demo for the PS5, because it shows off a lot of what it's capable of. And it does it really smoothly as well. Like the remake for Demon's Souls, it functions really well. Like it has very, very few issues with like performance functionality, and it still looks amazing. I'm one of the people who says like, you know, Dark Souls does not need good graphics. However, having Demon's Souls with good graphics is kind of cool in a way, but it's cool in a technical sense, not like it's cool in a technical sense, not a practical sense. Also, that was a lot of damage all at once. Very unfun. So I don't think they're ever going to bring the remake to PC for that reason alone. Why do I keep accidentally pressing that button whenever I switch over things? These spear guys so far in this little mini run for me have been a menace. No, let me have the rapier out. I want my stabby stab. I want my stabby stab. All right, there we go. I recently bought Demon's Souls Remastered, but the day after it was 50% off. I feel that. I do. I really feel that one. I try to buy all my games on sale, if I can. But there was a day, there was a time, I don't remember what game it was. It was a while ago. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. But I bought a game for like, it was on a partial sale. Like it wasn't like completely on sale, but I got it for like a fraction of what I should have been. Like it would have been, I guess. I'm not sure how to say it, but let's just say it was supposed to be like $50. I bought it for 40. And then like a couple of like I think the next week another sale happened and it was like $20 and I was just sitting there like I could have saved so much more money. But oh well, sometimes you don't really get to, sometimes you're just unlucky. That's how I try to think about it to avoid, I guess, having an angry fit about things like that. It's disappointing. The main thing that improves the game on the PS5 has to be the new sound design. Yeah, the sound design, dude. Demon's Souls remake, the sound design is just amazing. Cause like this, it's like kind of choppy here and there. It's just, you know, classic kind of PS3-esque sound design. Can't really complain about it too much. But the remake, it's got impact. It makes you feel good. It just sounds amazing. I love it. Ouch. Okay, I want to target the boss, please. Yes, boss. I'm gonna go and sit here and spam magic. Ideally, you want to use the turpentine to just kind of firebomb them. That's not actually. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll show that off. So like I was saying earlier, this game very much so wants you to use the things that the game gives you. Because these guys are weak to fire. As you can see, it just one-shots the actual mini phalanx blobs. And the game tries to give you a lot of the fire bombs and turpentine going up forward. So the game does want you to use consumables. Like it really ideally wants you to be using and farming and getting these for things like the fights. Okay, now that we're out, we're just gonna go back to magic spam. Yeah, I don't know what else to say here about Phalanx. Phalanx is a very understandable early game fight. Just whittle down the defenses using fire, magic, and then go in for big damage once that's all been taken care of. I'm taking a lot of unnecessary damage here, but I don't really mind because again, I'm not really trying to play for a win. More or less just showing off the game. Can you get one more cast? No. Yeah, I'm not using this save file. Might as well just go all in here. So I just boxed myself in. This might be a mistake. No, it's fine. I bought my PS5 mainly for Demon's Souls. It's excellent. So did I. I bought my PS5 for Demon's Souls and Bloodborne. That was like the main reason I picked it up. And so far for that purpose, it's been pretty cool. But I've also played like Ghost of Tsushima on it, Last of Us, God of War. I played a lot of those games on that, and it's been a very solid console. I like it. I don't know about like buying a PS5 specifically to play with 2 games though. It's $500 just to play 2 things. But at the same time, if you like those 2 things enough, maybe it's worth it. How does it feel to have 2 videos go absolutely nuts, but not consistently get above 1K views on other videos? Just asking. It's how it is. It's YouTube. Like I put way more effort into, say like last year in December, I made a video on Subnautica that I put a lot of effort into. I would consider it to be among my best work of all time. It's got like 1.2K. The algorithm didn't really pick it up. I'm fine with that. Sometimes other videos, like my more recent Kingsfield video, it's kind of like somewhat disappointing, but again, it's YouTube. I have to rely on other people to allow things to go viral. So if it doesn't go viral, then oh well. I'm not really on YouTube to go viral. And it's great having like the Demon's Souls, not Demon's Souls, having the Dark Souls 2 video and my video on Elden Ring get so many views, and having other like shorts and stuff get like crazy amounts of views as well. Like it's really cool, but that's, for me, that's all it really is. It's cool. I'm not really looking for that. So if that makes sense, I guess. I'll just cutscene.
In the distant past,
Kingsfield is a beautiful abomination. It is. It really is a beautiful abomination.
owing to the soul arts.
By the way, the build that me and my friend are going for is a Faith, because the Moonlight in this game is special. Yeah. Oh, and the Moonlight Greatsword of Demon's Souls is special. I have yet to use it, actually. This is one of the... No, not one of it. This is the only game in the Souls series where I have not actually used the Moonlight Sword. I have it in my remake save file, but I never actually used it. I just went and grabbed it.
And half the world lost, erased by the fog. In order
Virik, I guess, and one thing I will say about having like the Dark Souls 2 video being as big as it is
with 6
is it was a very different feeling. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like,
one to the king,
I would describe it as similar to winning something.
one to the
like you've done a lot of work to get a big reward, and you're just looking at the
chieftain.
how big the reward is, but it's like a constant drip feed. It can be pretty cool. At the time though, it was kind of not great for me, because it led me to make a couple of decisions that weren't the best for the long-term health of the channel.
The archstones were placed
But I eventually fixed those, and now we're here.
we contained
But the feeling is, it was great. So now when I don't get that kind of like hit, it does kind of drag a bit, but it's not like, it's not detrimental. It's all a mindset thing.
Sentinels of the fabric of reality.
I play Elden Ring, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3 on it as well as in other games. Demon Souls is properly the easiest FromSoft game. I would agree, yeah. Demon Souls is very easy. When I went through this game after playing through all the other 6 titles, I just kind of, blew through it. It just felt natural. Felt not like too easy, but it just felt,
Now it is your...
like I had done stuff like it before. I would say Dark Souls 1 and 2 prepared me for it the most. Dark Souls 1 because this plays a lot like Dark Souls 1, and Dark Souls 2 because Dark Souls 2 uses some of the features that this game has, like having the health and having general progression be very linear up until you get a very, very good in area shortcut. So I was always already trying to look for those as I went along.
brave spring. What is it? Does
I do seek soul power.
after go let soul of the
And
mind,
I seek soul power in the form of...
soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted.
I always do forget this. You do in this game have to just individually level up every individual level. It's a little iffy, but I don't really mind it too much. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm not going to be playing more than just the next 5 minutes, so
Art thou done me?
we'll go ahead and just continue in Boletaria. Cutting off the tail of Seath is too much of a pain for me. It's become a pain for me now that I know that Seath's like a recurring character in these games. Which, if you didn't know, Seath is a recurring character in these games. He's technically a part of the original Kingsfield lore as one of the dragon gods. Gira and Seath. It also ignores shields like that other sword. Yeah, it does. It do be ignoring them shields. Also, I'm gonna get burnt to a crisp here. Man, I don't know the timings for the regular Demon Souls. I think they're roughly the same. I'm not 100% certain. But I want to go down. I want to use the easier pathway. See, about 13 minutes left on stream. Yeah, that's enough time to kill the shield tower guy. I forgot his name. Sekiro is by far my favorite FromSoft game. My favorite FromSoft game would be Sekiro. I would agree with you on that. Mine is also Sekiro. My favorite Dark Souls and Souls game is Dark Souls 1, but that's because it was my first. Also, I hate dogs so much in these games. They're relentlessly brutal. Anyway, yeah, Sekiro is my favorite FromSoft game. Dark Souls 1 is my favorite, FromSoft, Souls-like. But I like Sekiro a lot just because it has so much polish to it. It feels like one of the most finished things that, FromSoft has ever made.
Thanks for...
All of the experiences are finished to some degree, but holy crap, just the way that Sekiro plays and just feels is just amazing. There's not really an experience I have that feels close to or nearly on the same level. Might not survive this. No, I'm good. I'll survive. Okay, fine, dang. I'll fight the boss. Sekiro is one that I come back to a lot. Most of the time when I play Sekiro, I just go on my already finished save files, and I'll just refight bosses. And I'll just sit there and just fight them over and over again. Okay, okay, Tower Knight. I may get embarrassed here by a stray arrow or bolt. I would hope not. I might. Okay. I should be okay now. Yeah, the first half of Dark Souls 1 is one of the best things of all gaming. The bosses, enemies, areas, level design, song choice, everything, just pure awesomeness. I agree. Dark Souls 1 was my first, and it really showed me the capabilities of the formula and of the games themselves. Though I didn't realize that until much later, because I didn't really care too much about it at first when I first played it. When I first played Dark Souls, it was just to play it with a friend. That's all I was really there for. I didn't really play it for oh yeah, no, this is Dark Souls. This is a fun game that I want to play. Because a friend was the one who gave it to me. He gave me a key for the Xbox 360 version. So I didn't really care about it too much initially, but later on I kind of learned and got better at the game and realized that I myself really wanted to play and get better at it and learn it, and then it became one of my favorites of all time, just slowly as the years drew on. But if you want to hear more about my experiences with these games, I made a very wonderful video called My Time with Souls, or the Journey of a Souls Veteran. It's about 1.5 hours long, and it is basically just a full detailing of my experience, my timeline with these games, and how those experiences shaped my perception of the series. Okay. There we go. Now he falls down. I walk around. Forgive me for my relative silence here. I'm more or less just trying to focus on not making a fool out of myself by dying to one of the easiest bosses in the entire game. I say as I get slammed by one of the most telegraphed attacks imaginable. Twice. It's kind of funny how little damage you actually do in Demon Souls compared to the remake. Because in the remake, at least from what I remember, you actually just like the boss as of now for me would have been already over. Like I would have already beaten him with all the damage I did. I could be wrong, but from what I remember, that's how it was. Once again, getting hit by the shockwave of an attack that is very telegraphed. And that was some greed from me. Oh well. We should really start paying attention to the shield movements here. Getting hit by like way too many of them. It's fine though, it's GG. Just wrote a whole book. I believe you said that earlier, but I doth not read it at the same time, so the context is lost to me, unfortunately. Yeah. From here on, we can't actually progress until we get at least one other demon soul from one of the other archstones. And that's basically the entire opening to Demon Souls. And I still have 5 minutes. So I will use it to
Soul of the mind, key to life's ether.
just spam health upgrades.
Soul of the Lord. Art thou done?
Nice. Alright, that's Demon Souls, at least the initial first half. So levels 1 and 2 of Boletaria, or 1 and 1-2. And yeah, that's basically just how the game starts itself out. And from here on, we have ultimate freedom to go to any of these archstones that we please, except for that one up there in the top right because it is broken. But yeah, let's go ahead and just quick game for here. I'll put us over on this screen. All right, not welcome. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for popping in. It was great seeing a lot of you. Great meeting some new people as well. Great answering questions. I always love doing that. Yeah, again, sorry for the short Friday streams. I typically like to take these days to work on stuff. But it's cool just to take a look back at these older FromSoft titles, especially stuff like Demon Souls, which is one of the few FromSoft games that got a proper remake in the future. Maybe at some point in time I can get myself a good capture card and we can stream the remake version of Demon Souls for a lot longer than just 1 hour. But anyways, thank you all for popping in. I really do appreciate all of you. I'm working on the Dark Souls 2 video right now. Like I said on Tuesday, the script is done. I'm just getting the footage plan and getting that stuff recorded at the moment. I'm probably going to record narration today, so there's that. Otherwise, the only updates I have for you, next week we will not be having a Friday stream. I'll make a post about that later next week as well, but we're not having a Friday stream next week. Next week, I'm just going to be using that time exclusively for working on videos. While I figure out other stuff to set up as well. Because with this, I think we're just going to be going back to talk about some of the alternating sequels of FromSoft titles, and going into a few more things like Eternal Ring later on, later next week. But yeah, thank you all for popping in. It was great seeing you guys. Great seeing you, Gunseller, Virik, Joe, Kadek, anyone else who came in, popped in, chatted for a minute. I love all you guys. Love seeing you here. And I hope to see you guys on Tuesday with a continuation of our Torch-only stream. But anyway, as always, as I've said like 7 times now, thank you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your weekend. For those of us in the States who want to watch the Super Bowl or are going to watch the Super Bowl, hope you guys have an awesome game day. Thank you all, and have an amazing everything. Bye-bye.